If you're an innovation leader or need frequent novel solutions or new ideas, this video can help you. Hello, everyone. My name is 𝗕𝗵𝘂𝘀𝗵, and this is Crush It Club, episode 90, the neuroscience of attention and creativity. Just not enough real estate. Got to do the keyword stuff. Honestly, keywords are better for computers than they are for humans. I should have called this something like how to be more creative, but then, you know, that whole keyword nonsense. We got to sell to computers nowadays. So in any case, let's talk about this. This is episode 90. I'm pretty excited about this because this is 90 videos in 90 days. This takes a lot of my effort and RAS. So hopefully I'm putting something out there that you enjoy. In which case that makes me think of the next thing, which is if you do enjoy or benefit from any of this content, please share, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And you can certainly reach out to me if you have any questions or want to collaborate or whatever. Speaking of which, one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing right now and keep looking away and looking up is because I don't have a teleprompter. And as necessity is the mother of invention, I have invented one in my head and I will be making my own homemade copy. But if you are a plastics manufacturer who takes transparent, clear, shiny plastic, like plexiglass or similar things, please reach out to me because I would love to talk to you about a potential licensing opportunity we can both win at. Totally off topic, but that's the way it goes. So this is about, as I said, attention and creativity. And today what you're going to learn is about how your RAS, or Reticular Activating System, lets things previously unrecognized that are always in your environment through to your conscious awareness. Now, your basic job of your RAS is to decide what you need to pay attention to survive. So it's a very old part of the brain. It is right here as that red stripe right there and this brain-shaped thingy. And so it's at the top of your brain stem, and it basically says, do we need to take our finite and very limited conscious attention and pay attention to this? So the reason it would do that is for reproduction. That is an attractive person that you want to get to know better, for maybe making some descendants. It would be good for that. It would also be good for a dangerous sound you heard. Your reticular activating system would say, okay, that sound sounds threatening to my survival. I'm going to definitely let that through into your consciousness so you can react appropriately and survive. But something like the glasses that you didn't feel until I mentioned your glasses, it's your RAS that is basically ignoring that. Now, if there's a PhD in neuroscience, you can correct me on this, please do. But to my understanding, that's what it is. I have a mere BSc in neuroscience. But the bottom line is things like that, rings, many things that you are around you every day, your RAS just says, that's not threatening me. It's not advantageous to me. So I'm going to save that limited conscious awareness, that limited conscious attention, and put it towards things that are more important to me. And you can train your RAS to do this. So in a way, this is kind of like, excuse me while I look away here. This is sort of like this training. What I'm talking about today is sort of like the neurological equivalent to beginner's mind or Vuja day. And I'll explain both of those terms. So beginner's mind, and please, my Japanese friends, for my bad pronunciation. Itchy nose, hay fever season. So here we go, me trying to pronounce the proper Japanese as best I can. Shoshinsha no kokoro is, in Japanese Buddhism, is beginner's mind. And we often see it in the West, but it's shortened to Shoshin, which actually only means beginners, because Shoshin no kokoro is just too long for us Gaikokujin to remember. So it's usually referred to just as Shoshin in the West, and that may or may not be a shortening that Japanese people do. My girlfriend isn't here to ask. So And as far as the other one, the late George Carlin termed the coin or coined the term Vuja Day in his comedy routine when he said, and again, I know I'm looking away, I'm trying, I got to get my teleprompter made. Vuja Day, this is the strange feeling that somehow none of this has ever happened before. You could also sort of finally think of this as it's seeing the same familiar things as though for the first time. So it gives you that whole beginner's mind and all that kind of thing. So the important thing here is that you want to notice rather than look for new things, okay? You're not looking for a specific thing. It's like, I'm going to find something new. That isn't what you're doing. You are going through the process of practicing noticing previously unnoticed things, normally in a familiar environment or activity that you've done many times before, where your RAS has previously ignored it because you hadn't given it the memo that you want to notice these things. You can also do this in novel situations and settings, which actually gives you more opportunity to notice novel things. That is, familiar things that you may have seen in familiar situations, but now there's going to be more new things in general. I don't know if that will improve it. My hypothesis is yes, it will. So the idea is to train your RAS to notice things. Now, as I just elaborated on, this is different from looking because you're not looking for anything specific. Instead, you're just kind of open and striving to notice what's always been there and you've previously been unaware of because your RAS just went, glasses don't feel, not necessary. So try this exercise or RASercise. It's sort of the practice of seeing through child's eyes. I want to drive that home. That's why I keep repeating it in different ways, but it's really important. So it's like during some familiar activity, strive to notice things that have always been there, but you haven't noticed before. You're not looking for anything specific. Instead, you're just looking for anything that you haven't previously noticed. So you simply set an intention and say to yourself, aloud or whatever, do your own intention, I'll strive to notice what I haven't seen before. Your goal is to do this honestly, or to honestly say or think to yourself, I've never noticed that before. Remember, this isn't a game where you can win. If you notice 100 things, but a whole bunch of them is like, well, I think I've noticed it. So we're going to say, yes, I noticed it for the first time. Be strict on yourself. And you want to be able to honestly say, wow, I didn't notice that before. I've walked by here 100 times and I've never seen that, not consciously. So go do something familiar, like walk to a grocery store, somewhere you've walked to many times, and see if you can notice things that were unnoticed. I use that example because that's exactly the example I used to test this exercise. I tested it, it worked the first damn time. To a store using a route I've walked to dozens or hundreds of times, and I saw stuff or noticed stuff I had never seen before, which is why I'm very excited as I am about sharing this with you. This isn't just some hippie exercise. It is a neuroscientific technique for training your RAS. By doing this, you notice more, and research has shown creativity and innovation are often triggered by or inspired by the environment, experiences, or collaborations. That as much of creativity comes from the outside, and then making connections between these new noticed things and other things or problems you're trying to solve. It's also why learning consciously and broadly in any topic is another great way to boost your practical problem-solving innovation abilities. That has been Crush It Club episode 90, the neuroscience of attention. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.